Hello, and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel once a week, it chooses the movie, and they discuss it. Today, we're talking about the 2009 film, The House of the Devil, which was directed by Ty West. I'm your co-host, Alec.
I'm Eric.
And this is your first time seeing this movie, right, Eric?
This was.
Oh boy. I put this on the wheel specifically because I was like, I don't think Eric's seen this. I think this would have slipped past his radar. So
Never heard of it either, dude.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, dude, let's jump right into it. What'd you think?
I mean, honestly, I watched this at midnight. Look, I ended at midnight, and I needed to watch something funny for a bit after this. So I turned on SpongeBob for 10 minutes, and it's like, okay, now I'm back into not scared going to bed. I can't go to sleep after just watching that movie. So
It's a nice palate cleanser,
oh,
SpongeBob.
jeez, yeah.
But did you like it?
Loved it, dude. Loved it.
Right? It's so
Yeah.
good, right? It just comes out of nowhere. You're like, what the fuck is it? How did I miss this?
Yeah, I'll kick it off with it's a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
There's one scene where the best friend gets shot in the dome, and then all the shit goes down in the last 15 minutes. Aside from that, it's pretty much an hour and 15-minute build up.
Yeah, it's a very slow burn is probably the best way to describe this movie. Yeah, it's very Hitchcockian with the suspense and little weird things are happening throughout the movie. You're like, what is going on? But that last 20 minutes, you're just like, oh boy.
Yeah, and that's probably the only critique I'd give this movie is this could have been a short film almost. There's a ton of walking around and negotiating rent with her landlord that doesn't come into play ever. And, playing pool, dancing around, ordering pizza, eating pizza. And it's just okay, it's a lot of filler. But, man, does it deliver at the end, I think.
Yeah, I think it's just supposed to set the mood of just kind of this is a very weird day. They do justify that she needs money really bad. So she's a babysitter, and then it shows she's crying in the bathroom and she's I'm fucking desperate. So
$84 in her bank account. And I'm like, geez, I know a couple guys that have less than that, You're pretty well off. No, I'm kidding.
No, it sounds I mean, to me it seems like she's a college student who's living with a girl that she hates, and then now it's just I'm desperate to get out. But yeah, $300 a month is awesome. I would definitely do that.
Yeah.
What year do you think this takes place in?
84? I mean, the music seems like 80s, right?
Yeah, so I'm going based on the music only, but I think it takes place in 83 or 84, yeah.
Yeah.
That One Thing Leads to Another song that came out in 83, so I was like,
Yep.
Okay. All right, so ready. This is the reason that I asked you not to look anything up. Did you?
Not, but watch. Looked at stuff afterwards. Why? What were you gonna say?
No. All right. God damn it.
Is the Monster Squad thing?
No. Okay. So the reason I didn't want you to look anything up about this is because do you know where this movie was filmed?
My backyard, brah.
God damn it. I didn't want
Looked
you to
it
look
up. Well, come on. I'm going to look up stuff about the movie afterwards.
I literally was like, don't look up anything about this.
What? Okay. It was filmed in Lakeville, Connecticut, which is an hour from me right now.
No. It was filmed in Torrington, dude.
I thought it was filmed in Lakeville.
No, dude, look it up. It's filmed in Torrington. Most of
shit.
it. So that's why I want to get Kevin on here because I was like, he's from Torrington.
Oh, I thought it was Lakeville, what I saw. But no, Torrington? More like Borington. Am I right?
Oh, my God.
No, Torrington, respect. Love Torrington.
It's the town over from where we grew up. So I was just like, the first time I saw this movie, I had no idea. I was like, oh, where is this? But, dude, it's all in Connecticut. The license plate, if you notice, is from Connecticut. You're just like, oh, shit. So this was a very local film. That girl, the lead actress, she's from Bristol, Connecticut. The scary tall man's from Greenwich. Most of the crew was from Connecticut. It was a very local Connecticut movie.
Yeah, that was Frankenstein from the Monster Squad.
I know. Yeah, I know. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, dude, I just thought the fact that this was filmed literally 10 minutes.
Backyard. Yeah.
Right where we grew up. I was like, oh, that's cool. I did look up a couple little goofs, I guess. The license plates in Connecticut were not those until the year 2000. So those license plates that they have in the cars would not exist. So I found that out.
Save the sound or whatever.
Well, it's got the tree, the Constitution tree and stuff. But
yeah.
The other thing is when she goes to the payphone and she goes to put a quarter in, apparently until 1997, Connecticut was using dimes in their payphone still. So,
really?
Yeah.
When's the last time you used a payphone?
Probably the early 2000s, maybe.
Early 2000s. I actually saw one a couple years ago at Harper's wedding. There was one in Salem, Massachusetts, and I picked it up and it was still working.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen a payphone work in forever. And then I was like, should I call something? And I was like, I'm in Salem, Massachusetts. I'm not not calling nobody here. So,
Right.
like, I hung it up and, like, walked away.
No, I've seen a ton of payphones, but I don't use them. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
I
I've
mean, they're a rarity. I mean, like, I don't really have walking streets around me, so seeing a
yeah,
payphone's like,
okay.
"Oh, a payphone, a
Yeah, I think
relic."
we've had a very different 10 years. I've been
I know. You've been in cities, and I've just been in, like, Torrington.
No, but yeah, no, people don't use them anymore. I do see a lot of empty payphone things where, like, they used to be, and they were just, like, gutted out, and I'm like, "Why don't they just take the whole thing down?" But I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was another thing I noticed about or that was a goof in this movie is it should have been a dime she was using. But
Did
yeah.
not catch that.
Yeah, I know. But, uh but yeah, man, this movie came out in 2009. It was kind of like it did horribly at the box office.
Really?
Well, the budget was $900,000 and it made $100,000 and
Oh, shit, that's bad.
very, still very low budget, under $1,000,000, all filmed locally in Connecticut. Probably the biggest actress in the whole movie at the time was Greta Gerwig. She's the director of Lady Bird and that Little Women remake they just did.
Right, right. I also caught a name on the credits rolling at the end, Lena Dunham. I was
I
like, "Is
know.
that's probably not the same Lena Dunham."
It
And
is.
it was, and she plays, like, the voice operator. I was like, "No shit, that's kinda cool."
I
But,
know. I noticed that because when she calls 911, it's like the receptionist sounds like a Southern woman, and I was like, "Oh, that was Lena Dunham, okay."
you could tell? I couldn't tell, but
I couldn't tell when I was, watching the movie, but afterwards, I was just like, "Oh, okay, so she must have been putting an accent on or something." I don't know.
Uh, yeah,
But
she must have been just starting off, Lena Dunham too, on this in this movie in Hollywood, I guess. She's about our age, a couple years older, right?
I think she's a couple years older, yeah, I don't know, this is before Girls, so I'm not really sure. Dude, I think the intro too is just very reminiscent of just, like, old, like, Last House on the Left and Texas Chainsaw
Texas
Massacre.
Chainsaw was what I was gonna say. They reminded me, like, well, it's all shot on 60 millimeter
16.
film, and then,
Dude, yeah.
the title cards are great, and then, like, the way they do the starring this person as the landlady and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and it would zoom like, she'd walk by and it'd zoom into, like, a tree for, like, 2 seconds and then pause and stuff. I love that kinda old style. It's cool. It's all zooming. There's no, like, dolly work. It's camera zoom.
Yeah, they were going for that style of 70s, 80s kind of like slasher, I don't know, cult demon movies. But the thing I love about it is not only did they use those angles and stuff like that, but it was real cameras from then too. They used 16 millimeter film. You can see little grains and pops and stuff. And I was like, this is exactly the kind of movie I want because when I see movies that take place in the 80s and the 70s and stuff, and they're supposed to be scary and nostalgia or whatever, it's like they're beating you over the head with it, and it doesn't look like it looks so crisp and clean. This did a really good job of making me feel like this movie could have came out in the 80s.
Right, and, like, not overdoing it.
Yeah.
Like, not really trying too hard.
No, it really didn't. Like, you're like, "Oh, the Coke cups look different," but, like, that's such a
Yeah,
afterthought.
the dorm looked like a normal dorm. It just kind of looked still normal. Like her clothes weren't too retro, just like flannel. The hairstyles not really either. I mean, it just kind of felt today, but also just shot in that. It was good though. I like that.
So what'd you think of the introduction to the old man meeting her and her friend?
I thought he was a great actor. I
Yeah.
thought he was great. He looked way taller at first. I was like,
Mm,
who the hell is this Lurch from Adam's Family? But
yeah.
how he like kind of talked was like really off putting and it's creepy.
It's, like, just toes the line between, like, okay, this guy's maybe just, like, weird, or is he, like, dangerous?
Yeah, but it's also back then you didn't really have that, like, excuse box. Like, the phone we have when you carry around a phone, that's an excuse box at all times. "Oh, shit, my dad just called, I gotta leave."
Yeah.
Like, "I'm so sorry about this." Like, she's there and she's like, "No, you're babysitting."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Well, I can't anymore." "What do you mean you're here? What do you mean you can't?" So, having a cell phone is such a bullshit, like, excuse box now. That's how I see it.
It's true. No, you can always kinda get out of it, but I think with her, she's so desperate for money that it's like, I'll do this for $400." I would
Why'd she
never.
stop there? He, like, well, they don't show him stop. She coulda asked for more even when she said
Eh,
400, he takes out his checkbook and puts it down.
I
So she
know.
could have been like 1,000.
Yeah, you don't wanna be
So,
an asshole. I mean,
well, I mean, you don't, but that's maybe she upped it to 500.
yeah.
Who
Still,
knows? And maybe that's really why they kinda went off camera with that negotiation. So maybe that's really why she's like, "No, I gotta stick around." it's only 4 hours. How bad could it be?
Well, it's supposed to be $50 initially, and then she's getting 400, so it's like, alright, she's making a huge
Yeah,
profit, and this is also in 1981, so that's probably worth closer to, like, $700 for 4 hours of just sitting there, but
that's a rent for 2 months pretty much, like
still though, still, you go there thinking you're watching a kid, you meet this creepy ass tall
oh,
dude who's got a
I'd be
cane,
out,
and
out,
he's
out,
like,
out, out.
"Also, you're not watching a baby, you're actually watching an old lady that we're not gonna introduce you to." Like, fuck that.
I'm a 30-year-old man, and I'd still be out. I'm not like a little kid. I'd still be like, "Nah, I gotta go. I'm sorry, I don't feel good." Like,
I don't feel good. I don't know, I need to know why she's so desperate for this money, I get it, but, like
she's got a rent for 300, and she's, like, on a winning streak a little bit. The landlord just said, "You don't have to worry about security deposit."
yeah,
Bam. She hates her roommate, who
yeah,
sucks, and she's just like, "I got this jackpot. I have good things coming my way finally.
mhm,
I'm gonna have buffer money." She probably hasn't had, like, money ever, it sounds like, the way
yeah.
she is. So, this is a big deal for her.
No, I get it, and I think they do a good way of justifying how desperate she is, and I think seeing her crying in the bathroom, like, that's like, "Okay, this girl's, like, really at her wits," and I think her friend is funny, she's like a voice of reason, but, that's when the movie really becomes, like, modern to me is when she gets shot. I was like,
Yeah, I was like,
"Whoa."
"Oh, that was good special effects," right?
Yeah, that's where it kicks it up, you're like, "They couldn't have done this back then," where you're like, "Oh, okay, because that
Yeah.
comes so fast, but also, like, she pulled off into a graveyard and this dude comes out of nowhere, I would've just been like, "I'm outta here, like, I'm sorry,
Which
bye."
which honestly is when she was running off into the graveyard, that graveyard was, like, 2 feet away from the house. So she really didn't drive off far for that cigarette.
No, and also just light while you're fucking driving, you're on a one-way like, a
Well,
very
maybe she's just waiting for her friend to come out running.
yeah, I don't
Maybe
know.
she's just still being a good friend, but that was
No,
so scary, like, "Hey," like, this random guy just comes out in a graveyard with a cigarette. I'd be like, "Get the hell away from me, crackhead," and take off.
that's what I'm saying, like, she
We're
should
in
have been
Torrington, Connecticut. There's meth everywhere. Like, get away from me.
oh my god, that's not
I'm
true.
sorry. No, it's not true.
No, but it's just so I don't know, I would've figured she would've been like, "I'm getting the fuck outta here," like, not even taking a second because like, "Oh, just because it's got" you don't have to be polite, get the fuck outta there. But, yeah, well, she died, so
Also, not to pick this movie apart, but, like, when she was driving her friend to the Ullman's house or whatever, she was not looking at the road the entire
yeah,
time.
yeah, I
Like,
know.
if you saw her, she's looking at her friend. I'm like, "You gotta pay attention to the roads."
Oh, I agree. No, 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 100%. That's another goof they listed on
Really?
IMDb. Yeah.
Nice. I'm glad
Is
I
that,
caught
like,
that
that the
one.
wheel doesn't move and that she's, like, not even paying attention.
And the Vincent Ullman name, when I
Mm.
first heard that, I was like, "Oh, anagram, anagram." I was like, "What is it? Is it like Alucard, Dracula? Like, what is it?" And no, didn't
Oh,
have
but ready
anything.
for this?
Is there one?
Yes. Well, no, but it's kinda cool. Apparently, it's a nod to the guy that hires Jack Torrance in The Shining. His last name is Ullman. So,
Oh, there
apparently,
you
it's
go.
like the guy that brings you into the evil is this guy Ullman. I think that was the
Yeah.
nod to it because he's, like, the evil
Ah,
guy that's, like, bringing her into the house, and just like that guy's bringing the Torrance family into the Shining hotel. So,
okay.
that was kind of a
Huh.
weird little thing. The woman too, his wife, like, she's creepy, just unsettling, just everything about her. The way that she just
Yeah.
looks in the mirror and then just doesn't even, like, embrace it's just everything's unsettling about her.
Yeah, definitely. What'd you think of her roommate? I mean, that makes her desperate for this job, and that's why she wants to leave, right? She just can't stand being in that dorm, right?
I think that's part of it. I don't think
Yeah.
that's, like, everything. They don't really go too much into it, but I think that's definitely that's not enough of a reason to be like
Well, the sock on the door trick, that's horrible. I've
and
only seen that, like, once in college, and I remember being like, "This is so pathetic, like, who does that?" And I'm not gonna say who, but one of our friends bashed on the door of this kid, and it was like, "Hey, are you having sex in there? Like, what are you doing?" And, like like and, like, took off, and I was like, "Oh, that's so funny."
oh my god. Yeah, just
Uh
lock the door, and if someone knocks, just be like, "Hey, we'll be on a sec," like, sort of thing. Like, just whatever.
it wasn't even his room, he was just like, "I'm not letting him get away with the sock on the door thing." Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Yeah, so I think she's probably at her wit's end, and she's just like, "I gotta get the fuck out of here." I do like how when she goes to get the babysitting thing, she sees the eclipse posters on the sign, and then they're talking about it in the news, and then they're hearing
Yeah.
it on the radio. So it's like, okay, so this is a big event. So that's pretty cool. The only thing is, if this cult, like whatever these people are, you would think that okay, this eclipse doesn't happen very often. Clearly, like this is the blood sacrifice to get somebody pregnant. Why wouldn't they already have, like, 5 people, like, in their basement chained up being like, "We got like, don't worry, we're set." Not like
Well, they had that one shot of when she going into the room and, like, it shows that shot of that guy all cut up or something.
yeah, the old family that used to live there?
Yeah, is that the family, right?
That was the family of the house. So
Oh.
they killed that family, took that house over, because he even says, like, "Oh, we just moved here. Like, we just recently got to this.
Yeah.
We're from the desert, somewhere very hot." It's like, "Oh, hell? Like, where are you from?" Anyways, you'd think that this cult was like, "Listen, this eclipse, we've had plenty of time to prepare. We need to have, like, 4 women tied up in the basement because we can't risk having anything go wrong."
Yeah.
Because seriously, like, there were so many opportunities for this to go wrong. Same thing like in Rosemary's Baby, where it's like they had that one person before Rosemary, they had another girl
And
before
she
this,
jumped out of the window, yeah.
but remember in this one, they're like, "We had somebody and they dropped out when I told her the truth." Who knows? Maybe they had to kill her earlier, we don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, when she found those frames of the other family and, like, tied the car together, and it was
yeah,
like, "That's the same car, and that's the family," and it's like, "Oh,
right.
shit." I'd be out of that house like Forrest Gump, like,
Oh my god.
straight running. I don't know why she stuck around still. Money, I guess, was, like, the only reason, but,
There
like,
can
still.
you can only get to so far with the money
Oh,
thing.
yeah, it's like, "I'm out, I'm sorry." You did she get the money already? He put the money on the table. If they gave me the money, I'm just, "See ya, you'll never find me again."
No, she gave half. He's like, "Here's half for your troubles, and we'll give you the other half, and
Oh,
here's
take
the
half and
money."
go.
Here's the money for pizza, leaves the number, not the menu. Here's the number. So that's the other thing. They had this all set up because he calls the pizza place, but the pizza
Mhm.
is just this dude or whatever. So he poisons the pizza, which is just that pizza looks disgusting.
Well,
And
was it the same pizza place?
I don't think so. I don't know, but maybe because
Because
even
remember that morning when I mean, not that morning, but when she went with her friend was like, "This pizza is disgusting."
yeah, she's like, it tastes nasty today. And then that night, I don't know if that was just like a weird coincidence. So like, okay, the pizza's off, or just trying to make us feel weird about it.
Also, the candy. She was eating the candy, and it was like, "Ew." Remember, she
Yeah.
spit it out, and then she grabbed another one, was like, "It's good now," and she, like, took a couple. That was kind of not explained,
I think
but
it's just supposed to be unsettling. Like, I think that's really what it is. It's
yeah,
just
like, is
like,
it poison? Is it, drugging
no,
them?
I think it's just like, "Ew, what is this old house with this gross candy and probably no one's been here in a while?" It's just like, I think it's just supposed to make you feel weird, kind of.
Yeah.
No, the girl to the music thing, dude, I'm sorry, like, I love that song, I think that dance sequence is fun, but, like, there's no way in fucking hell you're just gonna be like, "Hey, I'm gonna take away one of my audio sensory and just walk around this huge house without being able to hear anything," and, like, there's no way. Would you ever do that?
No.
Like, put
No.
your iPhone in and walk around like, "Ooh, I got my sound canceling on," and walk around a
No.
fucking haunted mansion? Like,
No. No, not at all. The other song they had besides that one was "They Don't Write 'Em Like That Anymore," the breakup song. It's
yeah,
like, "They don't write 'em like that," the 99 1 PLR special right there. They play that, like, 5 times a day.
yeah, yeah.
That's a good, like, nod, like, this is an old movie. They don't make these movies like that anymore kinda thing. That's what I got from that.
Huh. Oh, yeah, I guess that's yeah, that is I didn't think of it like that, but that's right. That was the
Maybe I'm
first
overthinking it, but I was like, "Oh, yeah, they don't make these movies like this anymore.
yeah,
They don't write 'em like that anymore."
you're right, though. I mean, that is a way to kind of interpret that. I also looked at that song up and it came out in 1981, so I was like, "Oh, does it take place in '81?"
80s, 80s for
Then
sure.
but then one thing can't lead to another. Came out in '83, so you're like, "Okay, so it's at
Yeah.
least 1983." Yeah.
And then that scene where she's, like, about to go in that room where the family's killed, the other family, and there's, like, a pentagram, like, written on the ground, that freaked me out. That was probably the scariest part in the movie to me.
Dude, yeah. The shot comes out from that one body and
Uh,
kind of, like, turns, and you see, like, all like, the body's just there. Yeah, that's fucked up.
but I like how she, like, knocks on the door, like, "Is everything alright in there?" And I'm, like, thinking in my head, like, Bill and Ted, like, "Everything is most definitely not alright in there."
Uh,
Like like, it's terrible in that bedroom or, like, that room is just horrible. So
well,
I was just
you'd think she'd smell or there like, you'd hear
oh,
flies or
anything.
something, so is that, like, demon grandma lady who looks like dude, I haven't seen The Passion of the Christ in a long time, but that looks like the devil from Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, that was really creepy.
Dude.
Looked like Pan's Labyrinth to me a little bit.
But is that thing in the house with her the whole time? Because you hear bangs going on, like,
That's
the
I think
whole
that's
time.
the slow moving thing you hear. I
Uh,
think that's the mother or whatever. Speaking of that, the mother thing, just gotta say, if anybody refers to their mom as mother without using the pronoun "my," like, "Oh, my mother's not feeling well." First of all, call your mom mom. Like, "Hey, my mom's not feeling well." But she's like refers to her the mother. It's like, "Oh, mother needs her rest." Like when you hear that, take out, go, run away. That's yeah, flag number 55. Like, get
Yeah,
out.
this is after Psycho, so we've learned from
Yeah,
this.
mother, no, get
Yeah.
out.
No, it's yeah, that's a little weird. Yeah, the demon thing, I don't know if it's actually a mother or maybe it's like this is the demon that needs to be put into a new carrier on this specific blood moon eclipse thing.
Could be the last time they did this, and he's been around for centuries. Could
Right.
be the head of the cult. We don't really know. Could be the grandparent of this family, the great grandparent. They don't really explain that. Could it be the devil? And the devil is she's now the mother of the devil, or the son of the devil. They don't really explain it, but you got to say like something
I
definitely up there.
I think because they don't give you a lot, and I like that. I think it I love I'll wanna tell you something what I think about the ending, but I really love how they don't give you a lot, but to me, it feels like this spot they even say this, "You have the most beautiful place in the world to see this eclipse." So I think there's probably a vicinity on Earth during a certain time when this eclipse is happening where they can actually teleport a demon or the actual devil into a human, and I think that's what they're doing here. So that's why I get pissed off where it's like, "Okay, this is a huge event. This is like bringing a demon onto Earth. Why don't you have 50 people set up to go, you
I
know?"
mean, there was that other person in the bedroom. Maybe they tried this or prepped it and it didn't go well. Like, who knows? Who
Okay,
knows?
there is that.
But there's
Uh,
also multiple eclipses that happen around the world in a year. Around the world, though, like in the U.S., like the continental U.S., like once every like total lunar eclipses only happen like once every couple years.
yeah. Well,
Like
this
in certain states.
well, there must have been a reason why they were in this specific place for this specific day or whatever, because they killed the family. They're like, "Okay, we have to have this, like, abandoned kind of farmhouse. We're far away
Yeah.
from people." So it looks like it's a family, basically, like, of a cult, and they've got this demon old lady that they're trying to transfer. That's the moment too, again, where you're like, "Okay, this is too modern for me," is when
Hmm.
the sacrifice scene or when they're, like, pouring blood on her and stuff, like, that was
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
intense, and
Well,
you
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is probably the closest like thing to that. I think.
Yeah, it's true, yeah, because there's I
That
don't know,
that one's worse though. That one freaks you out, but, this is bad too in that sense.
unsettling.
Yeah.
The makeup too of that woman is just great. They did a great job with that. I do have to say though, I'm sorry. There's 4 adults, all like, we're like, "We have to get this demon into this woman," and then she's able to literally scratch the demon, untie all of her body parts, punch the guy in the eye, and then run up and stab another like, what? What?
Yeah, that was a lot, and also the fact that she wasn't tied down well enough. It
Yeah,
seemed like that's how she got out. It's like, "Oh, you gotta use, like, straight up chains on chains and
dude.
bolt it into the ground." Like,
I
what
think
is this,
they
twine?
No, seriously, it was I think they wrote themselves into a hole because I'm like, this is bullshit. Because like, there's no way anybody can come save her. I think that's the thing. Her friends are dead, like, they don't give her any other option, so they're like, "She's just gotta get out herself."
Another thing, when she does escape, though, her friend is all of a sudden on the kitchen floor. It's like, why is her dead friend on the ground? Like the kid is like, well, if in the unlikely event she does escape, she'll be really scared when she sees her friend on the ground.
No, I don't think that's it. I think that
Well, why?
I think maybe I don't know, they
Need
took her out of the car, they got rid of the car. I don't know.
needed more blood for the sacrifice.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, that was the only thing where I was like, "How did she get out of this?" Like, she's so stupid for the most of the movie, just kind of like, "Oh, that's weird, but whatever, I need money. That's weird, whatever, I need money." And then all of a sudden at the end, she becomes like Rambo and just slicing people and like I'm like, "How did she figure?" She just became
Yeah.
and she's also drugged still, so I'm like, "How does she do all that?" But whatever.
I wish Mr. Ullman was like bogus after he was stabbed. I thought that'd be funny for all my
Bogus.
Monster Squad fans out there.
Oh.
Bogus, like ow.
Oh my god.
Like when she shot herself at the end.
Yeah, okay, okay. So, here's what I think would be kind of a cool idea. I think that this could be, like, the first graphic novel to, like, a female Spawn character called Eclipse. I think that you could make this be like she was just a normal babysitter who got wrapped up in this fucking weird cult thing, and then what happened is she shot herself in the head during the possession, which then made the demon part of her and gave her superpower, almost like Blade and
Mhm.
Spawn, but like, the female version, right?
Yeah, that'd be insane.
This is like an
That's a
origin
lot.
story.
No, I think that's probably where it was going. That's a great idea. I like
Dude,
that.
think about it, like, she wakes up in the hospital, and then she realizes, like, I have, like, fucking a demon in me, so I have, like, kind of superpowers now, sort of like Spawn or Hellboy or, like, Blade, kind of, like, she's, like, half human, half demon, and she fucked up the ceremony by shooting herself in the head. So it's like
But she still had powers, which is why she survived,
yeah,
kinda
dude,
thing.
so, like,
Yeah.
imagine this. This would be like, "Oh, this is just a horror movie," but it's like, no, this is actually, like, it's the origin story of Eclipse,
Oh.
right?
Twilight New Moon.
No, no.
Eclipse.
No, because think about it, she became this way on the day of an eclipse. She was part of this blood sacrifice, and she escaped. I think that would be a sick idea for a
Dude,
like,
I would love to see a sequel or read about it in some way. There
dude,
probably is stuff that exists, or like even fan fiction that probably exists out there.
I'm
I
telling you.
liked also the eclipse. When the news reporter said like after she shot herself, like the eclipse for some reason they can't scientifically prove anything. The eclipse left the moon.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? Where it's like you know how eclipse lasts like 10 minutes. Apparently, it was like still coming off, and it just like disappeared, and like they couldn't prove like why it just quickly became the moon again.
Yeah, so there you go. It's like
Uh,
something serious happened, and it's like
yeah,
I think that's a great superhero origin story. I'm sorry. I'm just saying if DC is listening, you want a new female, like, strong character lead, there you go.
boom.
It's dark, but it's also it's gritty. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think it's good. Ty West, make it.
Yeah, I would love to see a sequel. The hospital bed scene when it initially zoomed on her, I thought her eye was gonna open up or something, and it was gonna be like super demony.
I
That's what
like
I thought was gonna happen, and then I was like, "Yep, of course, she's pregnant.
I like the
That
way it
makes
ended.
sense."
I thought that was cool. I'm sorry, but there's no way she's surviving that shot unless she's a superhero with a demon inside of her because she shot herself in the head. There's no way.
Well, that, but being the adult that I am, I'd be more concerned, I mean, about waking up and seeing those hospital bills with $84 in my bank account than having the spawn of Satan in me. I'd be like, "Oh, shit. Also, honey, you better wake up because you've been in a coma for 4 months and you're pregnant, and this is your new landlord calling, and you're 4 months late on rent." So, that's just being the adult I am. I'm like, "Oh, man, like, I don't know what's worse, like, having the
Devil's
spawn of Satan in me or those hospital bills. Damn."
Yeah.
Like
That's the sequel, literally, it's like, "Samantha's hospital bills." It's like,
that would be a funny sketch though on, like, SNL. It's like, "You have the spawn of Satan in you." It's like, "What are my hospital bills?" Like, "Oh, shit, like, I don't
dude.
know how I'm gonna afford this." Like,
"Oh, no, my credit score just dropped to 666."
and like like,
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. That's a good idea.
uh,
The thing too about the newscasters or whatever, they do something that was so funny that it, like, made me think, I'm like, "Why do people do this?" The newscasters are just like, yeah, it's like, "So, get home and watch a scary movie tonight, ha, ha, ha." It's like, "Make of the popcorn," and then she's like, "Ha, ha, ha," and she's like, "I like butter on mine, ha, ha, ha." I'm just like, why do people, like, laugh when they're just, like, I don't know, just saying stupid things, like, just stupid things that aren't funny, but they're just, like, laughing to, like, make it not awkward that they said
it's
something,
it's it's how news reporters talk.
but people do that in real life too, you
Yeah.
know? They're like, just oh, it's like, "Hey, make sure to make the popcorn tonight," you know, because I also make popcorn, so now the it's funny now because I also do that. I don't know. Yeah,
I adore Grey's Anatomy.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird. People just laugh, just like things that aren't funny. Just like, "Okay, you're making popcorn with your movie. It's pretty funny." I don't know. I
Oh,
like
speaking of the movie they were watching, Night of the Living Dead.
yeah, royalty free, dude.
Yep, public domain. There you go. They didn't have to pay the would you say 900,000 for that? That was free.
Yeah, that
Saved some money there at least.
didn't, Halloween do that too? Or no, it was, Nightmare on Elm Street. So
No, that was Halloween 2. It's in Halloween 2 as well.
right, you're right. That's what I'm thinking of when she's watching
Yeah.
the older, like
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
yeah, man. Nah, I can go forever.
That pizza looked awesome too that she was eating. It's just
Oh,
a shame. What was something was wrong with it.
oh, it looks so, like, greasy and dry, dude. I was like, "This
I
pizza
love that. I
sucks."
couldn't I was like, "Oh, I kinda want pizza."
This movie
It was pushing midnight. Mm.
oh god, no, I just watched it this morning and yeah, no, I think this is a very, very underrated movie that just kind of just skipped by and nobody talked about it, but if you like 70s, 80s slasher, but also like The Omen and those kinda like culty movies, this is a fantastic movie.
Yeah. I love this movie watching it by myself, but I feel like if I watched this with a group of friends, they'd be like, "This is so boring." Like, at the first, like, hour,
Yeah.
like, nothing happens.
It's slow. It's a
It's like, "No, it
definitely
gets good, it gets good, it gets good." But, like, you know what I mean? It's one of those
Mhm.
movies.
No, I
"No,
totally agree.
I promise you, it'll get better." It's like, "Eric, you told us this would be cool."
No, it is a slow burn for sure, so, like but that's the thing, I mean, Halloween kind of is too. The first, like, hour of Halloween is very slow. It's
That's
not
exactly yeah, exactly. The last 10 minutes of Halloween are just epic.
yeah, in this movie, same thing, it's the last 10 minutes are just insanity, but I don't know, I think this movie if you like those kind of movies, this is right up your alley, but I think if
Mhm.
you're kind of like a casual a horror fan, it's not gonna keep your attention probably, but
Yeah. I like the music too. I thought it was pretty good.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
with her, like, going up the stairs. It was good.
Yeah, it doesn't have, like, that memorable kinda score, but it definitely has a, very tense score.
Good build up to the moment.
It's very just it's got a Hitchcock feel to it, very just tense. Also, it reminded me a lot of, When a Stranger Calls. You ever seen that movie?
Nope, never saw that one.
Yeah, it's like a house sitter, movie from, like, the '70s or the '80s, and then they remade it with the woman from Surfer Girls, from the, or Rip Girls from the Disney Channel movies, but,
Oh my god, I forgot about that one.
yeah, anyways, I think it's definitely worth watching if you haven't seen this.
Totally. What do we say, we, spin that wheel?
Oh god, Eric, do it.
Look at me saying it this time.
I know, it's weird.
Alright, pulling it up, and spinning. Ooh, ooh, The Blob.
Oh, fun. Yeah, this is we're doing the '50s one?
No, we're doing the 1988 one
Oh, okay, so nice. Alright, cool, we
with
have
Kevin Dillon.
Kevin Dillon, fresh off of The
Let's
Outsiders.
go. This one's
Uh,
fun. This one's fun. We're gonna have a
yeah,
good time with this one.
and we have Matt Banniver back as a guest for this. So,
Nice. Nice.
yes.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
So get excited. Alright, cool. Well, we will see everyone next week for the 1988 The Blob.
Fantastic.